So after a lot of thinking, I decided to go ahead and pick up one of these $400 Allies. It's just the Z1 model, it's not the Extreme. And I can see that at $600 versus $700, it makes sense to just go ahead and get the Extreme model and not even think about it. But I went ahead and picked this up. I wasn't really in the market for one of these. For 400 bucks, it seemed like it would be a really good buy, and so far I'm loving this thing. I am fairly new to the handheld world. I do have an ROG 30. This thing is pretty awesome for the things that it's able to run. Definitely love this little device. I also have an ROG 405N. It's definitely a quality handheld. It's great for retro gaming. You can get near pixel perfect on almost everything. Anything 4x3 anyways. Does, Game Boy Advance good too. It even does good on Super Nintendo. I actually almost prefer this at a 4x3 on Super Nintendo versus this at a 8x7. But they're both really good for that. So I do have a couple retro ones. I also had a Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, but I recently sold that because I'm waiting on the Pro to come in. But I just want to share my experiences with the Ally so far. So this is Destiny 2, and this is in really in the power saving mode. It's only 15 frames per second, not really worth it. I want to say that at 15, it's getting close to 30. So this isn't a custom power or anything like that. It's just the one stock out of the box. Of course, probably not going to get the best battery life, but it's not really what I need this for. I just need it to be able to pick something up, play it, and put it down. I do have a gaming PC, but it's set up for sim racing, and it's really just a hassle to actually do regular gaming on it. So having this be able to just pick up, chill on the couch with my kid and my wife, and actually enjoy time with them while getting to play games like Destiny 2, it's pretty awesome. All right, so here's 720p. We got the resolution down. We got it plugged in turbo mode. We're getting 48 frames a second right now. 4950. And to be honest, the image does still look really good. I personally don't like gaming in 720. That's just a weird personal opinion. But, we're battling right now. We're seeing 57 frames. So we're just shy of, the 60 mark that everybody wants to be at, which I can see for competition, first-person shooters, this isn't enough. And for sim racing and stuff like that, I wouldn't be happy at 50. Sim racing, I want to be over 90. So I can see first-person shooters, maybe the Steam Deck OLED makes more sense being able to get to 90 frames. But this plays really good. No hiccups at all. If I go ahead and unplug it, so now we should be in the 30. Make sure that we are in the 30 watt. Nope, see it dropped down to so the 25 watt turbo. And we're seeing, high 50s still. Actually, we're in the 60s right now, 64 for a second. So at 720, okay, now we're in the high 40s, but at 720 you get actually a really high frame rate, and it looks really good. I prefer the way the 720 on this looks versus the OLED panel on the Nintendo Switch, so I imagine it would be about the same for the Steam Deck because the pixel density is very similar between those two devices. So if we go to performance mode, so this would save on battery some. And there's no combat going on right now, but we're in the 50s. And I'll show it at the 10 watt silent mode here in just a second. Jeez, I cannot hit that thing. So, we're in the 60s right now. Okay, 47, that's more what I expect it to be. It might have just been cooling down from going from the turbo mode. Although now we're seeing in the 50s and high 40s again. So really stable, really good gaming experience. Frame rate is not stable, but the smoothness of gameplay and the ability to play this game is really good. So let me try it in silent mode. So here's silent mode. And this I don't think is very playable. See, this is where, yeah, 17, 18. You know, I would not want to play this in silent mode at all. This is a terrible experience. Let's go back up to performance mode. See, now we're up into the 40s again. So I think that I was messing with this, doing a 13 watt to try to keep it around 40, if I remember right. Yeah, see, so we're seeing high 30s right now in 720. So if you did want to save some power and still have a good gaming experience, you could do it in 720. But I personally always do it in 1080. So I'm gonna switch it to 1080 and show you guys how 1080 is on this. All right, so this is gonna be 1080p playing in silent mode first. It's pretty much unplayable. Yeah, 12 frames a second, 13, it's pretty sad. If we do it in performance mode though, it does become playable, but I don't think we quite stay at 30. 36, 38. So actually mid to upper 30s. And this isn't plugged in, it's just in performance mode. If we go to turbo mode, I don't think it improves a whole lot. I think performance mode is really where I normally play this game. Yeah, you can hear the fans kicking on. We're still getting in that kind of mid to upper 30s, some in the low 40s. So if I go ahead and plug it in, I'll see what we get there. And this is in 1080, so plug it in. Let's see. So 30 watts. Still really seeing upper 30s, low 40s mainly. Which for me is completely gameable. As long as I stay over 30, I'm happy. It's below 30 that it doesn't work for me. So, and I've done raids off the battery, or I mean off the charger. Been able to do full raids on just battery. So get about an hour of play time, and then it's about time to recharge it, which is about all the time that I can normally spare anyways. So like I said, for me, I feel like performance mode is kind of the sweet spot for this one. You know, just turned it down and we're getting basically the same frames. And I think that's where the extreme model really shines, is once it's in the higher power demands, the higher wattage settings, the turbo modes. I think that's where that chipset's really gonna shine. I haven't got to play on one. I think they'd be, and if you can get a Z1 Extreme, I think that's definitely probably gonna be the way to go. But I just wanted to share with you guys that the Z1 is perfectly gameable and acceptable. In the Borderlands games, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering right, I'm able to play at over 60 frames consistently. I can do some, if you want to call this benchmarking, I can benchmark some other games. I don't have very many PC games, but I can definitely do some more if you guys would like. So thanks for watching, and hit that thumbs up.